Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Lonely Artist Podcast. My name is Ariane, and I'm your host for this lovely little place where we bring artists together that are starting to bloom on social media, and we try to get people to know them a little bit better. The goal of this podcast is to make us usually lonely artists not feel so alone anymore and find a positive and supportive community to lift us up. In today's podcast, I'm talking to my lovely friend Sina. She is a 24-year-old artist and student from Germany. She currently studies media computer science while working on commissions and building up a portfolio on the side. Fascinated with character design and world building, she strives to become a concept artist one day. So I really hope you enjoy our conversation together. It was a blast, and this one's actually a little bit longer than usual, so do enjoy. Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing all right. What about you?
Good, good. Your audio sounds so nice today.
Thank you. All my friends were so excited in the Discord call when I first joined in with this microphone because they were all like, hey, we can finally hear you. I don't know. I must have sounded very bad before.
You did. Just a little
Oh,
bit too bad. It was very hard to hear you, and I was like really trying my hardest to understand what you were saying the last time.
Oh, damn.
At some points, I was like closing my eyes and just like really focusing.
No, oh my god. Well,
So I think it was kind of a good thing that we had to redo this whole thing again,
yes, I
for
think so
sure.
too.
Because I don't want people to have to try so hard to understand what you have to say, especially
No,
because I want everybody to go follow you with this podcast. So yeah, they definitely have to hear you to do that.
that's true.
And well, to anybody listening to the podcast, this is actually our second time around trying to record it. We had some technical issues, and our first audio kind of died on me. So, yeah, and you know what's funny? In the time that it took us to redo this whole thing, we both had our birthdays. So, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. And thank you. I don't know, I keep looking at it and it's so beautiful.
Oh, the drawing?
Yes, your drawing. It's amazing.
Oh, me too. I really want to print the drawing that you made me. I definitely gonna do that when I get back to Canada because I have my studio there.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
didn't know that. That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm gonna just print it and put it somewhere in the wall there. That would be so nice.
Oh, that's amazing. What kind of studio is it? I'm a bit curious now.
It's not nothing too fancy. It's just in there I have all of my gear to record videos and take photographs, and I actually have a table where I can work and a good chair. Because in here I am literally recording this podcast and doing all of my work in my dining table with terrible chairs. So. So yeah, it's just a little bit more of a comfortable space for me to work and draw and record videos.
It honestly sounds like a dream. Like have an own art studio. It sounds so cool.
Yeah, it is. It's very nice. I mean, it's still inside of my house. Nothing like I rent a place where to work. But yeah, it's nice. It's your own space, and when you get in there, you're just gonna do art.
Yes, that's awesome to have like this dedicated work art area. That's very nice.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? I don't know if this is something that happens a lot in Europe, but in Canada, people tend to get rid of their things really quickly. Like they might have bought something like a chair a year ago, and after a year, they're like, okay, it's used. So they just put it outside of their houses and they
Yes.
they put it outside for people to just grab. So I literally made my whole studio with like furniture from the patios of people who were trying to get rid of them.
Oh, that's amazing. That has like its own little touch to it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I love secondhand things, and if they're not going to use it and it's still new, I might as well.
Yes, same. We live in a very not rich, but the people that live here around us have like teacher jobs and stuff, and they always put old furniture, as you said, down to the street. We always collect it as well. We have like so many beautiful paintings on our wall that just, I don't know, stood there
Oh,
without
wow.
home. Yes,
It's
I
kind of
love it.
cool, but also kind of sad now to think about it because people are just getting rid of paintings, just
Yes.
leaving them outside. Well, at least now they have a home with you.
Yes, also good for us, I guess.
Yeah, very good for us. And I also wanted to tell you, you know how we weren't being able to figure out the time zones? I finally figured out why it was kind of weird. Uh,
Oh.
so in Mexico, there are 3 different time zones.
Ah, what? Okay.
Because it's such a big country. It's not like, Europe is kind of small and you all have the same times, more or less.
Yes, that's true.
But in Mexico, there are 3 different time zones, and I am in the south of Mexico, and I'm 1 hour ahead of Mexico City and like the center of the country.
Ah, okay.
And then there's another one where I'm 3 hours ahead of it, which is like the BC of Mexico, like near California.
That explains things because, like, when we recorded for the first time, I was thinking we were recording at 3 p.m. my time. So I was sitting here all nervous, all shaky
Oh,
for a whole
no.
hour, and I was like, what? What's going on?
I'm so
But the next-
sorry.
No, it's all right. It's all right. At least we figured it out now.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, there's nothing worse than sitting nervously with anticipation.
Yeah, it's true. I could have, like, I practiced my English a lot on that time, so it has its perks.
Well, this is true. And you know what? I get super nervous all the time, and especially after our audio failed, like today, I'm just like, please don't fail on me. Just please be right.
I
So
mean, I'm totally up to record for a third time or a fourth time. It's all right.
we're just gonna make it like a regular thing to record once a month just to catch up.
Yes.
Oh, and also I wanted to tell you, so I am gonna ask you questions. I promise I'll get to that part. But since we've already done this once, I don't want to bore you with the same questions. So I will sort of ask some of the same questions, but I'm just gonna add a couple here and there that are different, just for us to, learn a little bit more about each other. And I just think they might be a bit interesting as well for everybody else who's listening. Would that be okay?
Yes, of course. It's making me a little bit nervous, but it's all right.
Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you anything that needs, quantum physics explaining or anything like that.
Okay.
So I wanted to actually start with a question that I was wondering in the first time that we talked, but that I didn't end up asking, which is kind of dumb on my part. But so you have a background in media computer sciences, right?
Yes, it's what I currently study.
Yeah. And that's something that was very interesting to me because that kind of doesn't necessarily fit into art or, something artsy. And I was wondering, how does that fit into your artistic journey, or why did you decide to study that instead of something art related?
To make it short, I think it was out of pure fear. I really wanted to study illustration at first, but I was always a little bit scared because when I started to consider what I could study, I wasn't really at a point where I thought, hey, my art is looking all right. I could maybe make a career out of it. So I was pretty much in front of a choice between illustration and media computer science. And at that point in my life, it just felt like media computer science was the safer career path to pick. So I chose that. And it's also the illustration studio would have been in another city, so I would have had to move.
Oh.
And I was already with my boyfriend, so I didn't really want to leave my current city. So I stayed and studied what I study right now.
And how long do you have left for you to finish the career?
I have my bachelor thesis next semester, so I start writing it in around 2 months, I think. And
Ooh.
then the writing will take around 6 months, and then I'm done with my bachelor's.
Is that exciting
Um,
to you? Or is
that
that
is,
like a little bit nerve-wracking?
I mean, both. I am very excited to be done with my bachelor's, but I don't really know what to do afterwards, so that's making me a little bit nervous.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, it's kind of hard as it is to like finish studying, and it's like, okay, now you have to be an adult. And you're just
Yes,
like,
exactly. I'm very tempted to just continue studying and do a master in the same subject, but I don't know yet. There's also this very nice master in another city. It's for game design and concept art, but also a lot of coding and computer science stuff. So that would be perfect. But it's
oh.
very hard to get like into that school.
Well,
So
I'm sure if you really want to do it, you're gonna be able to get in there.
I'm gonna try definitely. But
And tell me something, it's even though this was like the safe bet at the time, is computer science is something that you also enjoy doing, or is it something that you always had you were always keen on doing as well?
oh, I really enjoy it actually. The problem is that with art also being a thing I enjoy a lot, I feel like I don't spend enough time coding to be like very good at it. So I don't know, I really enjoy it, but I'm not as good as I could be or maybe even should be. But all my friends are computer scientists. They all study computer science or studied computer science already. So I have this circle around me in the same subject, which motivates me to continue it. And I also really enjoy it, as I said. So I don't know. I really like both. And I
Are
feel
these
like,
the same? Oh, sorry.
no, it's all right.
Are these the same friends who are also really supportive of your art?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, they are very, very sweet persons.
Well, maybe it's good to have the best of both worlds. I'm sure there is something that computer sciences can help you. It's an ability I feel like can help you in life, and maybe in some way you could integrate that into art or art into computer sciences.
Hopefully. I'm actually planning to work on a small video game with a friend when I'm done with my bachelor's. So being able to do computer science and code and also do art is definitely beneficial for that project.
That would be so cool. I hope that you do make a video game. I would definitely play that.
It's probably not gonna be good, but I'm very excited to try at least.
Well, I'm gonna support it anyway, even if it's bad. So, well, you already told me this, but when did you initially decide to start pursuing art?
Well, it started as a little kid because my mother used to draw a lot and she always drew very pretty flowers, and that really just made me want to try myself as a kid. But I always just did it on the side when I was bored and stuff, until my friends gifted me my very first graphic tablet for my 18th birthday. And from that point on, I just like discovered my love for digital art and started doing it a little bit more often, drew my friends and stuff. And then a few years later, my friends gifted me my current display tablet. And that was really the moment that I thought, hey, maybe I should take it more seriously. My friends seem to believe in me and like my art enough to give me this big gift. So I don't know, I started taking it more seriously and actually considered art as something I could eventually pursue a career in.
Man, that's so cool. Really, that your friends would do that twice, not only once,
Yes.
but twice. Next time they're gonna give you a studio or a computer, which I mean, that would be great.
That would be great. Yeah, they're a very supportive bunch. I don't know what I did to deserve them.
Did they all like chip in to like give you this gift, or was it somebody's idea and then everybody followed along?
On the first time, it was my best friend's idea, and I think they all chipped in. And the second time, it was another friend's idea,
Oh, okay.
and everyone chipped in. I mean, they all, especially my boyfriend, knew at the time that I would love a display tablet at some point, and my friend also knew that. So I guess they had the idea together, and yeah, made it happen.
Did you find that it was hard for you to transition when they gave you your first drawing tablet from traditionally drawing to digitally drawing?
Yes, definitely. Especially like with the display tablet I have now, it's a bit more easy because you can see what you draw, where your pen is. But with like the first graphic tablet I had, it was very complicated for me to draw on this tablet while the drawing itself was on a different screen, and I found it very hard to just get used to it. And also all the new brushes and tools, it just felt very unnatural at first compared to traditional art.
The same thing happened to me. And yeah, it takes a lot of eye-hand coordination to get the drawing tablets to do what you want them to do for sure.
Yes, definitely. I also feel like it didn't feel as good at first as drawing with a pencil on real paper. It just has this really nice feeling that just doesn't. You know what I
Translate?
want to. Yes.
Yeah. No, I understand what you mean. And what kind of display tablet do you currently own?
It's a Huion. I don't know the exact model, to be honest. I think Huion GT, then some number and a version. I don't know, unfortunately. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. I was just wondering, like, if it was an XP Pen or a Wacom or a Huion, but
No.
I mean,
Oh, but you bought a iPad, right? How is it?
yes, I got it for my birthday. It was so nice.
Oh, amazing.
Although I don't have as good friends as you do, so I got it for myself.
But it's also nice. How does it feel though? Like, I always wanted an iPad just for being able to paint digitally, but wherever I want. So I imagine it very nice.
It's very nice, although it's very different too, because I've also owned a display tablet before, and it feels a little bit different. I feel like the pen and the surface itself is very glidey or like glassy, so you have to have a different type of control over the pencil that you're using while drawing. And it does sort of feel like a different experience from device to device, because I'm currently using a drawing tablet again on my computer when I draw on my computer. And the drawing tablet that I have is a bamboo an Intuos, the latest one that they released. And that one has a paper-like feel to it. There's a lot of friction when you draw and resistance. Whereas with the iPad, it's like whoop, you're just like like ice
Gliding
skating.
over it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is
And
nice too.
I can imagine.
It's
How's
very nice.
the software? What was it called? Procreate, right?
Yes, that's also a whole different beast, because it's not I wouldn't say a beast because it's not a complicated program to use, but it is very different, and the way you do things also changes. But I find it very enjoyable, very intuitive. I'm going to be doing a video review about it for my YouTube channel this week, so I'm very excited about that as well.
Yeah, me too.
Hopefully you'll watch it and you'll have a little bit of a better review than what I'm able to say right now, because I do like write scripts for the videos and I sound a little bit more eloquent in my reviews.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch it. I always wondered how Procreate was. I always see those reels and speed paints on Instagram of people using Procreate, and it looks so, I don't know, so fun and fluid.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm very
it feels
excited
like
to
that.
hear what you think.
It does feel like that. And if you want, you can come to Mexico and you can use my iPad.
I'm gonna be there tomorrow.
Actually, my sister is also she's a different type of artist, but she does drawing sometimes. And she also was like, "Oh, you have an iPad. I want to try it because I've never tried it before." So I went to her house and she was like trying it too. And now everybody just wants to know how it feels.
And how did she like it?
She did. She liked it a lot. She was like, "Oh man, I should really get one of those.
Oh, now I'm eager to come to Mexico to try it myself.
It's going to be a very expensive test run for the iPad, but I'm sure we can make it worth your while.
Yes.
So you said your mom sort of got you into art with her flower drawings. Is there anybody else in your family who is an artist or does art?
Not really, I think. My mom also isn't really an artist. She only rarely drew at that time. I think she doesn't draw anymore today.
Gotcha.
No, I think there is no one really.
Okay.
Draws,
So you're the
unfortunately.
first.
Yes.
Nice.
What
That's
about your family?
my immediate family, we are all sort of artists in our own different ways, but nobody is actually like drawing. So my mom likes to write a lot, and my sister is a photographer, and she does a little bit of graphic design. And then I do, illustrations and art commissions and YouTube videos like that. But other than
That's
that,
very cute.
oh, what, the videos?
No, everything. You have like this little creative family. I don't know, it sounds really wholesome.
Oh, somewhat, yeah. And also my great grandfather, which I was lucky enough to meet and lucky enough to spend time with him for a long time before he died. He was a painter and a very well known painter in a big city here in Mexico. And he was also a teacher for his entire life in fine arts college.
Oh, okay, that
So
sounds cool.
that was a really cool experience to get to know him. And I feel like he was probably the person who encouraged me the most to pursue art, for sure.
You
Yeah.
mentioned your mother was writing. I want to add my mother likes writing too. I totally didn't think of it when
Oh,
you
really?
asked me. Yes, she
See?
tried writing books and she also submitted a book. Unfortunately, it didn't get published, but
Oh,
she's still writing a lot and she enjoys that a lot. So, in that view, she's definitely also an artist.
that's so cool. And well, yeah, art, I guess it can be many things, and I also heard a while back, I think it was in a podcast actually, that when you're good enough at doing something, when you've mastered an ability, anything can become an art, like cooking or building stuff. I don't know. I feel like art can be a pretty broad term, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense totally.
And what type of thing or subject are you most happy drawing? What's your favorite subject to draw?
It's most definitely my own characters, like my original characters. But I also absolutely love drawing other people's characters. For example, your Melria. I just love being able to visualize cool character concepts. So fantasy characters are my most favorite thing, but I also like drawing landscapes or visualize concepts regards of items or objects. But unfortunately, I'm really not good at that yet. So it's definitely fantasy characters.
Well, with every pose that you make, you get better and better, and I believe like you told me the other time that you weren't feeling as confident in your in drawing bodies, where I feel like you are very good at it, and also backgrounds, you're pretty good at it. I don't see how you you think you're not as good at it, because I really like the way that you draw all of those things.
Oh, thank you. I feel like with backgrounds, what I currently do is I just splash some colors in the background and then I use a brush and smudge it together. So that's basically my current background situation, but I'm trying to do more diverse backgrounds. I have a piece in front of me right now with like a forest background, but it takes me forever, so... But I'm trying this year.
Backgrounds are such a pain. It's funny you said that, because one of the other people that I interviewed for the podcast, her name's Alex, and she said the same thing, that she just colors the background and then like blurs it out so that you can't see anything, but there's something in there.
Yes, I feel that. Do
It's
you
a
have
great
any
trick.
do you have any art resolutions for the year?
I sort of do nothing too specific, but I do want to get a little bit better at gesture. I feel like sometimes my drawings can be a bit stiff, and definitely every year I'm trying to get better at backgrounds, and then every year I like avoid them as much as I can.
I feel this. I feel this. I feel like background and anatomy is a thing I tell myself to get better at every year, but I don't really put in the work. So, but I saw you did some figure studies
Mhm.
recently, which is something I definitely want to get into as well to get better.
Yeah, I have the iPad to thank for that because, it's so nice because I was just laying in bed and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do the thing that usually it's such a pain to start doing because I have to come downstairs and like turn on my computer and plug my drawing tablet and then, do the gesture work. And
Mm.
it takes a lot of steps to get there. Whereas with the iPad, I was like, okay, I'll just look at Pinterest poses and I'll just try and do this as fast as possible and try to get the understanding that I need from it.
Yes. Studies, it feels like they're a core more than or
Yeah.
chore.
Yeah,
Chore is the
chore.
pronouncement, right? Okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's like homework, but I guess we all gotta do it to get better at it. Other than that, I think my other New Year's resolution was to get a little bit more into animation, just try and figure out how to move my drawings a bit more for videos mostly. Because I don't know, it's something that I pay a lot of attention to. I really like animation, so I'm kind of just dabbling a bit in it.
I really like the ones you're already making, like with the small avatar you. They're really cute.
Oh, thank you. Do you have any art resolutions for yourself?
Um, backgrounds as every year and anatomy as every year,
All right,
but
all right.
but not really. Backgrounds is really something I want to tackle this year. But apart from that, I don't really have any resolutions. I was
Gotcha.
planning to maybe get into like stickers and prints, but
Nice.
let's see what the year brings.
Well, yeah, I guess we're all sort of scared to make any resolutions after 2020.
Yes, your animation summarized it perfectly with like this big rock that fell down on you. It's
Yeah,
perfect.
it's so, so sad. You know what? I was planning on going to Germany this year,
Oh,
2021, because in my past self from 2019, my plan was to spend most of the year of 2020 in Canada and then do a summer trip in 2021 to Europe. And I guess now that's out of the window, and that's really sad. We could have
that's
met.
really sad. Yes, but maybe I don't know. I guess maybe next year or late this year. I mean,
Yeah, well, for sure I'm gonna try and make it because I've always been interested in crossing over to the other side of the pond, which is something I've never done before. So it's definitely there on my bucket list of things that I'm gonna do whenever the world sort of figures out itself.
if you come to Germany, you definitely have to text me so we can meet
Yes,
up.
I shall do that. No worries. I'll be the first one to be like, "Hey, I'm here."
Nice.
So, do you consciously approach your art in a specific way to like influence your style? Or do you just go with the flow with whatever you usually do? What I mean with that is like whenever artists make a drawing, we sort of have our own little quirks that we do every time that we draw. And sometimes that's intentional, but sometimes it's not really intentional and it's just something that we acquire from maybe watching tutorials or things like that. But I have seen a change in your style from something a little bit more flat to something a little bit more rendered. So I want to know if you're doing this consciously or if this is just a natural progression of your work?
I think it's a little bit of both. For example, watching a lot of speed paints and general artwork from people I look up to makes me realize, hey, I like the way he or she paints eyes. So next time I'm drawing eyes, I remember that and try to put it into my own drawing. So that way I can develop my style a little bit. But I think it's also just doing studies and just drawing. I think you get better with practice. So it's nothing, I would say it's like 60% unconscious and 40% conscious.
Gotcha. And do you use references when you're drawing, not only from photos, but from other artists that you like?
Yes, sometimes. There's this one artist I really love. His name is Dave Gretcho, and he does a lot of World of Warcraft fan arts. And since I am drawing a lot of World of Warcraft fan art currently, I always take a peek at his work because I love his work and like the way he places lighting and color. So I try to do the same thing with my work. And yeah.
I really like Dave Greco as well. I also watch his YouTube channel because he makes a pretty long videos just showing how he does his work, which is kind of cool that he does that for everybody to see.
Yes, I love his YouTube channel.
Yeah, me too. It's like very relaxing and I watch it while I'm drawing. It's super nice. And he's extremely talented, so
Oh yes, totally.
makes sense. And you've also gathered a big following on your social media, not only Instagram, but Twitter. And I've seen you grow a lot exponentially this past year. Do you have any preferred social media, one over the other?
Well, yes, I most definitely enjoy Twitter over Instagram. But I think generally Instagram is a bit better for art because of this very nice grid overview and the story shares and stuff. But
Yeah.
I just like Twitter a little more because it may be personal bias, but I feel like Twitter is better to get to know people, and the algorithm isn't as scary to me as Instagram's algorithm is. But
That's
for
funny you
art
say that.
related- Yes.
Yeah, because I feel like Twitter is such a big beast. You know, everybody's tweeting all the time. So I feel like every time I post something, it just drowns in this sea of tweets and nobody ever sees them.
Yes, I get that. Twitter is very hard to grow on, I think, instead of Instagram. Like on Instagram, I feel like if you're in favor of the algorithm, growing is quotation marks easy. But on Twitter, it's like very hard to get a community or an audience.
Yeah, I feel the same way about it. Do you think you did anything specific or something helped you to grow substantially over this year?
On Twitter or on Instagram?
On both? Did you do something different on both? Just tell us all about it.
Well, I actively try to spend a lot of time on Instagram specifically because I always just accidentally spend a lot of time on Twitter already. So I tried my best to also spend a lot of time on Instagram. I also try to post regularly, which I think really helped. But I think the main thing that helped me grow on both platforms is to have this community around me and have people and friends with the same interests and to support each other. That really helped. Like, I support a lot of my art friends and they support me back, and I think that really helps in growing.
Yeah, I agree as well. I used to be super antisocial on social media, funny enough. But over, the last maybe year or so, I actively started trying to get to know people and, commenting on their photos or just having a conversation as humans, because we all sort of forget that that's who's there behind the social media. And I do feel like maybe I haven't grown as fast, but I have made a lot of friends, and I feel like the work I do is a bit, feels like people support it a bit more than before.
Yes, I feel you on that. I also feel like it's just such a nice thing to connect with other artists, and the support you get from them is just like this very nice extra thing. But just the friendships and the communication itself between artists is just such a cool thing I really like about social media.
Yeah, me too. And I was also wondering, you told me that you get a lot of your inspiration from video games, right?
Yes.
Do you get that inspiration from anything specific from those games, or is it just in general all of the things that you play just inspire you to create different types of art?
It's a bit of everything, I would say. It also depends on the game I play. For example, I love drawing fan art of League of Legends, for example, simply because I love the characters. But there are also small things that inspire me in other games. For example, maybe you know the game Hades that came
Yeah,
out.
it was very
It
popular
has,
this last year.
yes, it had such a cool art style and character writing, which really inspired me a lot to draw.
I loved your fan art from it. It was so nice.
Oh, it was finally I had a motivation to draw man. It was
Nobody
really
ever
nice.
wants to draw man. Poor man. Nobody
Yes.
ever wants to draw them, including me. Yeah, they're not
Yeah.
like that pretty to look at.
I feel like men have like their own aesthetic, and I really actually like man and art of man. I'm just so bad at drawing it myself, unfortunately.
Yeah, I guess I would clarify that as well. It's horrible to look at men. I draw personally, but other people who draw men, they draw them so nice. Yeah, I also appreciate that kind of aesthetic, for sure.
Yes.
Do you have any like fantasy character that you, not a character specifically, but like let's say a species of fantasy character that you like to draw more, like as an example, like mermaids or fairies or like I don't know, centaurs or something like that?
I would like to be able to draw scaly creatures like
Okay.
dragons and lizard people and stuff like that, because in our D&D campaigns and in a lot of video games there are those creatures, and I would love to be able to draw them, but I can't really.
Oh my god, scales are such a pain to draw because there's so many
Yes.
little things that you have to like shade, and the texture is just very intricate.
Yes, indeed. I also find it very hard to humanize, for example, a lizard. Just, I don't know, the proportions are so different from humans, and I find
Yeah.
it very hard to draw.
Yeah, this is true. Maybe you can just draw a human looking character and just say he's a reptilian.
Yes.
Maybe give him some like reptile eyes and that's it. And you'd be like, yep, there you go.
My boyfriend actually has a character like that for our pen and paper adventures. He's like a
Oh,
snake person, and he just
nice.
looks like a very thin person, but with snake eyes.
Sort of like maybe Voldemort or something like that.
Yes, same aesthetic.
There you go. Now you have a way to trick the system into drawing reptiles.
Perfect. What about you? Do you have anything, any creature or stuff like that that you'd like to draw?
I didn't used to, but as you've seen lately, I'm kind of obsessed with drawing demons. I don't know why. Like it just all of a sudden I was like last year, I'm gonna make a demon, and now she kind of became my favorite OC. And I'm trying to write a story for her for making a comic, and I'm like building up her family because apparently I decided she's gonna have like 6 siblings. So
And they're all gonna be demons?
yes.
Oh,
So
I'm excited to see them.
actually, I think this week I'm going to be posting one of the first siblings that I created, and it's her brother. That's gonna be interesting.
Yes,
And
I'm looking
he,
forward to it.
Yeah, and well, you know, she's a succubus, so all of her siblings are either succubus or incubus, which incubus are like the male version of a succubus.
Ooh.
So that's where I'm at right now. But I
Oh,
had
I'm
my
so excited to see them.
you'll see. They'll like slowly appear at my feet and then slowly take over it probably. People are gonna be like, why are you not drawing anything else other than demons? And I'm just gonna be like, I'm sorry, I just have to.
I honestly don't think anyone would complain. Demons are amazing to look at. So
I have my seasons because when I was younger, I used to be obsessed with drawing fairies, and then I had a state like a season where I was obsessed with drawing how do you call these the ones that are like half person, half horse? Is that a centaur? No,
oh god.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
A horse person.
Oh damn.
Well, yeah, so I was obsessed with that because for some reason I figured out that I'm really good at drawing horses. So I was like,
Oh.
I'm gonna draw half a horse and half a person. And yeah, I don't know. I used to love drawing those and now I don't do it anymore. So yeah.
Oh, but that's cool. I always used to draw humans, and I still only draw humans really. Except for Sora, she's a tiefling, but
Hmm.
that isn't really much of a difference. She's just a human with a tail and horns, so.
Well, actually, I was gonna tell you, I forgot. It was such a blast to draw your OCs, and I mean, I've drawn them, and I've also drawn. I forget her name. I'm so bad at names. Is it Cora?
Yako?
Yako. Yeah. Sorry. Oh my god, I'm so bad with that.
Oh, it's alright. I have a lot of OCs. I don't expect you to remember all the names.
I had such a lot of fun drawing them that I feel like I'm just gonna end up drawing all of your OCs like at some point because I definitely want to draw also your male character. What was his name? He had a raven. I'm so bad with names.
Ruben?
Ruben,
Oh,
yes.
Yes.
I told you about this, but I'm definitely gonna have him have a cameo on Milria's comic for sure if you let me.
Yes, please. I gotta show you. I recently commissioned an artist I really like to draw Ruben. I'm gonna send you the picture after.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, I'd love to
Turned
see
out
that.
so nice.
That'd be so cool. So, well, talking about artists that you like, who are your biggest art inspirations? Like people that are, I don't know, like big artists or just professional artists, or somebody that you follow on Instagram that maybe has like a really good ability to make art.
Well, there's definitely Dave Greco or Greccio. We earlier talked about him. I also like Jeremy Aninos. He's a illustrator at Riot Games and does a lot of the splash work, and I just really admire it. Like, I don't know, the splash work from League of Legends looks so insane to me. I just cannot fathom how people could draw that well. So
I know.
that's someone I really look up to him.
Yeah, it's inspiring, but it's kind of like how do you do this, and how can I get this power?
Yes. There's also a guy called Ate Galen. I'm very bad with names. I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong. He does a lot of the Valorant character art, and I really like him. He also has a very nice YouTube channel. And there's also TB Choi, who's a freelance character concept artist that I really, really adore.
Yeah, I like her a lot too. She did a podcast interview as well with Bobby Chu.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I mean, you should go watch it. It's really good. And she talks a bit about her process.
I'm definitely gonna watch that. I didn't know she was on a podcast. Is it her podcast or was she the guest?
No, she was the guest.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna send you the link so you can watch it. It's really cool and entertaining.
Oh, that would be amazing. Yes.
Is there anybody else from your art inspirations that you'd like to mention?
There are like so many people that inspire me to draw, but naming them all would take ages.
Forever.
Yes. They're all basically so character designers or concept artists, most of them for Riot Games. There's also this studio I think I told you about it last time already. It's called Six More Vodka.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a bunch of artists that do illustration work and concept work for Riot and Marvel and Ubisoft. And that's something that really inspires me because it's my dream to get on their team one day. So
Well,
that's a big source of inspiration.
hopefully you'll be part of their team soon. That would be so cool. I'd brag about it. I'll be like, Sina's my friend and she works there.
I think it's still a very long way to go, but I'm gonna try my best to make it happen.
Nice. I'm sure you have the support of so many people. It's gonna be a breeze for you to get to there if you keep doing art, of course.
Thank you. I'm gonna do it. I'm trying.
Do you have any other inspirations from maybe people that are a bit smaller, or just like people who maybe deserve a bit more attention on Instagram or just social media in general?
Yes, very, very much. Like I think I have even more smaller people that inspire me than bigger art inspirations, because like watching your art friends on Instagram and Twitter just post their work and you see them grow, and it's just very inspiring and lovely. For example, there's you, and I really like your work.
Oh my
and
God,
you're
thank
also
you.
so creative and kind, and just seeing you post and come up with cool new illustration ideas or comic ideas or getting into animation and stuff, it just really pushes me to expand my boundaries, I think.
That's so sweet. Oh my God, thank you. I feel the same way about you. I'm so proud of everything that you do. Like every time you post, I just fangirl over you.
No, that's very sweet. There's also the girl that did my commission of Ruben I'm gonna send you afterwards.
Oh,
Her name
nice.
is Dotswa. And she always does this like very moody and expressive and full of detail illustrations of her characters, which is really cool.
Nice.
You said you were gonna link them in the description, right?
Yes, I'm gonna link everybody. The big artists and the small artists.
Awesome. Then there's another girl. Her name is Kat, and she has this very lovely style. She has like a very rendered style, very soft style. Also not very realistic, but more realistic than my style. And I just love her work. She does a lot of League of Legends fan art and Valorant fan art, and she's just so good. And I don't understand how she hasn't popped off yet. I don't know. And I also have like two real life friends who draw a lot. They're called Nela and Marie, and they're both very good at traditional work. Marie, for example, she's currently striving to become a tattoo artist and is gonna do some very pretty designs. And Nela is just pretty much good at anything and everything that's related to art. She does like digital renders and inking, graphic design even.
That's so cool.
The thing about her is that she only started to take it more seriously around a year ago, but she's improving so fast. It's very inspiring.
That's so cool. I don't think I have many friends or even people that I know my age, like in real life, that do art. So it's so cool that you have at least two friends that do something art related. That must be really fun and inspiring for you in real life as well.
It really is. Especially, I have this one Instagram person. You might even know her. Her name is Sonja Stegemann. She's an artist. Maybe you know her.
I'm so bad at names, but I'm gonna check out later to see if I know her.
Wonderful. She's actually friends with Marie, so we hung out a couple of times, and she's so nice. And when I started with Instagram, we followed each other, and she had like 6,000 followers, and now she has like 80,000.
Wow.
And deals with this tutorial website where you can create tutorials, and yes, it's very inspiring.
Wow, that's insane. That's so cool. Wow.
Definitely.
Do you think you'll ever let your friend who wants to do tattoos give you a tattoo?
Oh, I would love that. I don't know what kind of tattoo I would want. I used to want a lot of tattoos. Currently, I don't really feel like I want anything really,
Hmm.
just because I have no exact idea of what I want. Because
Yeah.
if I want to get a tattoo, I want to have this like very specific idea of what it is, but I just don't have that yet, unfortunately. What about
Yeah.
you?
Well, I also used to think I was gonna get so many tattoos. Um, I thought I was gonna turn 18 and I was just gonna cover myself in tattoos. And
Same.
then and then I turned 18 and I started living by myself and I was like, I can either eat or get a tattoo.
Yes.
So, yeah, that can wait. And then eventually I haven't done it and they're so permanent and I just can't figure out what I want. I have some ideas
Yes.
that I've always had, but I don't feel so passionate about them to actually get one.
Yes, same. I think before I turned 18, I didn't really know how expensive tattoos were. So
Me
when I
too.
found out, I was like, how am I supposed to afford that?
Yeah, me too. It's just so expensive and I don't know. And also like I want to get a tattoo from somebody who I really look up to, like a cool artist. Do you know Kat Von D?
Yes. Yes, I know
I would
her.
love to get a tattoo from her.
Oh,
That would be
yes,
so
that
cool.
would be so cool.
I would be like, just to do whatever the hell you want, but make it cool.
Yes. Maybe one day.
Yeah, we'll see. You let me know when you get your first tattoo, and I'll let you know when I get my first tattoo.
Most definitely.
And well, what kind of advice do you give people to follow you who maybe want to become artists like yourself?
I would say that you guys should learn to take breaks sometimes. It's something I really struggle with myself, but I think it's very important, especially with social media being such a big thing in our lives. I think you'd have to learn that it isn't necessary to put out art like twice a week or even more. Um, I feel like this pressure that social media can give you can easily lead to art block or a feeling of like burnout. And you should enjoy what you draw. And pressure can easily take that away from you. So I'd urge everyone to just be very careful with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd also recommend to use a lot of reference. It's very helpful and it's not cheating. And big artists use it, so we should definitely use it too. And I would also recommend to just find art friends and support other artists and befriend them. It's a very lovely experience. And it's also B, helping you grow, because the more you support other people, the more they would want to support you. So that's, I think, the biggest thing you can do.
I love that advice. It's so true. I mean, I could use some of that advice myself. So, so I think
Yeah.
that's lovely. People do really need to pay attention to that for sure.
Yes, I mean, I don't really follow my own advice, but I would like people to maybe be a bit better at it than me.
Yeah. Well, it's easy to talk the talk, but walking the walk is hard.
Yes, that's true.
Do you have any plans in the future? Maybe like short-term plans for your art or your social media? Or are you just going with the flow?
I'm just gonna go with the flow, honestly. I have like those very blurry plans for things I might consider for the future. For example, I mentioned earlier I was thinking about stickers, maybe opening an Etsy shop or something like this. Patreon is something I played around with in my mind, but I'm also not really sure about that one. I'm just gonna continue with my studies and do art on the side and see where it'll lead me, as long as I enjoy it.
I think whatever you do, you're gonna be great at it. I mean, you already are. So
Thank you.
I feel like you got this. Not maybe not figured out, but you got this.
Thanks. Do you have any plans?
I have some short-term plans. I would really like to grow my Patreon a little bit. I would like to grow a community that can support projects that I would like to make. I not only like to draw, but I really like storytelling. So I would really like to maybe in the future make a short film or a comic, maybe a graphic novel. But first I gotta create a community of support that will help me fund those projects. So I'm kind of looking into that right now and growing my YouTube as well. Just trying to grow a little bit more on social media.
Yeah, I'm sure you're gonna get there. Especially the graphic novel comic thingy makes me very excited for the future.
I can't wait for you to see it. I might bother you with showing you some ideas for some critique.
Please do. Please bother me as much as you want with that stuff.
I will take your word on it. Well, I already asked you this, so maybe I'm curious to see if your answer will be the same or if now that you've had time to think about it, it'll be different. But it's the last question of the podcast. It's the one I always do, and it's what kind of magical art power would you like to have to help you with your painting process? What would you like it to be?
I feel very boring and bad about myself right now because I thought about this a lot since our last recording, and I'm at the same conclusion. I would like to have a magical power of reference that helps me when I imagine a pose or a shape or just a hand, for example. I would like to have an image of it pop up on my PC, on my computer screen, so that I don't have to spend like 10 hours searching in Google or positioning my 3D dolls just right or ending up taking weird pictures of myself.
Oh my
it's
God.
definitely the best thing I can come up with.
Well, I don't think it's boring at all. I mean, I still think it's a great idea.
Did you change yours, or are you still with your idea?
I think, yeah, I'm gonna stick to mine as well. Dude, we talked about this the last time, but talking about reference, taking photos of yourself for reference. Man, I've been taking so many photo references lately, and sometimes I also like tell my boyfriend that I need a reference for a guy, so I like take pictures of him as well.
Yes.
And you're right, it takes so much time to look for them. It's horrible.
Yes. I mean, Pinterest is very nice to get reference. I have a very big collection of reference pictures on Pinterest, but I'm also always worried about like copyright thingies, are those stolen images and stuff. So
Yeah.
I think taking weird pictures of oneself is one of the best solutions there is. But
Yeah, it's true. You're right. Actually, if I can recommend something for you, there's this website with great photos. It might not be as easy to find like niche subjects like in Pinterest, but in general, it's pretty cool and it's royalty free entirely.
oh,
It's
okay, I'm
called,
intrigued.
you might know about it. It's called Pexels. Do you know about
I
it?
heard of it. Yes, I think I used some pictures for a project for university, but I'm
Oh.
not sure.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, I really recommend that one. There's Pixabay as well. I kind of try and use royalty-free photos for references as much as I can, also because I'm worried about the copyright. But yeah, I like your power, so no worries there. Not boring at all.
Okay, I'm still gonna think about it. Maybe like I have a better idea. I'm gonna text it, but
I
I really can't think of anything right now.
I'll write an annotation below the podcast and be like, here's a different idea.
I would also just, if I had a new idea, I'm gonna comment it. And if you guys have ideas, you can also comment that. I'm very excited to read through it if there are any ideas that are better than mine.
That would be so cool. I don't know how I've never thought about asking people who are watching this to comment their ideas. You should be doing this instead of me.
No, definitely not. You have such a cool flow in the way you're talking, and my English and my sentences are so short and kind of stiff. It's weird.
That's funny you say that. I don't feel that at all.
Oh, that's good. But no, you have a wonderful voice and a wonderful way of like walking me through this interview. So you're definitely doing a very good job there.
Well, I really appreciate those very encouraging words. And like I said, you did amazing the first time. You're doing amazing the second time. And we're both not even like native English speakers. So, people can cut us some slack.
Yes, hopefully.
And I think this is a wonderful note to end the podcast on. I'm super excited that this, even though it was a second take, it was a little bit longer. And I feel like that's kind of nice when people are listening to podcasts and they're maybe drawing or doing something, that they have like a long period of time where they can hear people talk and, talk about each other and learn things like that. So I'm just very excited to get to editing the podcast and posting it and having people listening to it.
I'm very excited to listen to it again.
All right. Well, with that, I'm going to let you go. And again, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for making a time to do this, not once, but twice.
Thank you for having me twice.
And I promise I won't ruin the audio this time. And if I do, it'll be on purpose just so that we can chat again.
No. It's all right.
You're just like, no, God, please don't make me do this again.
Oh, no. It's all right. I was barely nervous this time.
Nice.
So if we would do another recording, I bet I wouldn't be nervous at all.
Yeah, you'd just be like a pro at it by then.
Yes.
Well, I think this one is gonna go super well, so don't worry. But we do need to chat some other time and maybe play some video games together.
Yes, most definitely. I still have to add you, so.
Yes. All right. Well, I'm gonna let you go. But again, thank you so much and have a lovely rest of your day.
Same to you. Thank you for having me.
And that was it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. I hope it was informative, entertaining, and most of all, inspiring. And I'll be seeing you for the next one.